Hello everyone, I'm Neha, your happiness coach. Guys, today I'm going to talk about another serious parenting issue that all of us come across, but we just don't realize and we end up doing these mistakes. I'm going to be giving you a list of 10 things that we should never be discussing in front of the kids, especially when the kids are younger, like, between until the age of 12 or 13. This should not be a topic of discussion in front of them. They're way too young. You really don't know how they build it up in their head, what they take it as, what they understand, and unnecessarily a lot of complications happen. So let's just quickly get started. The very first point is, which often comes up between couples, is adult relationship issues. You might have a lot of relationship issues with, your family or, neighbors and things like that. But that should never be discussed in front of the kids. It gives them a bad perception. See, because they don't know the background story, they don't know what has happened, the reason why you're talking like that. And they just, with their very innocent minds, you really don't know how they're taking it as and how they might go ahead and interpret it. And, tomorrow, maybe they kind of try and use it because you as a parent were, dealing with it or talking about it like that, right? The second point is your own problems with your spouse. If you are having an issue, bad mouthing your spouse in front of your child is like the biggest criminal mistake that you can ever do. We should never do that. Anytime when you're having a problem, it should always be discussed probably once your child is gone to bed or when he or she is at school. You can always discuss, you can have all your heated arguments. Probably then you just ballpark it, but then make sure that it is not happening in front of the kids. They end up understanding that their parents are having a sour relationship. Maybe you actually don't. Maybe it is just that one incident that has happened, and but what they will carry in their head will be that perception for life, because that one incident might just get stuck in their head and they know, oh, my mom and my dad, talk to each other like that, or they don't like each other, or mom always keeps complaining about dad this way, and vice versa. So please be aware, please be very conscious when you're talking, and you make sure that you're not talking about your spouse in front of your child. The third point is financial worries. Whatever is your financial stress, problem, be it at work, or maybe in terms of whatever internal discussions that you're having in terms of money, let that not come to the kids very early. I have seen a lot of kids who have grown up listening to a lot of financial problems that have been blatantly discussed in front of them, always end up having that mindset with them throughout. They grow with that kind of a mindset, and it becomes very difficult for them to detach their thinking from that perspective that, oh, I don't have money, or we don't have money, and we cannot do this, and we cannot do that. It's the entire negativity that they start carrying with them, that can, even if you take an entire life, they might take so many years altogether to change that whole negative to a positive. So please make sure the discussions are between you, or maybe sometimes, when, or in a way that probably if you do not find the time to, if they're not around and you just want to do it at that point of time, make sure you step out or take a walk and find an alternative, but don't discuss this in front of them. The next point is your fears and insecurities. They learn confidence from you. Anything that is positive, they learn from you. Let me give you an example here, my dear parents. I personally am a very adventurous person. I love trying new things. If you ask me to skydive, go jump from a, mountain, be it like, something like a parasailing, paragliding. I love doing all of it. But on the contrary, my husband is scared. He doesn't like doing all of this, and he's phobic to a lot of things. So my child, invariably, my son, is having this fear. He's 10 today, and until now I never ever forced him to do anything that, though you should try, you should do, just because I'm doing it. I just let him be, right? But what I used to do as a parent was, never, my husband never in front of him told him that, look, I'm scared, I won't do it. But on the other side, we made it a point that whatever little that he could do alongside me, keeping his fear in control, so that motivates him at least to do it, he learned it from us. But on the contrary, if you just think of it, if he kept saying, no, 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 I'm not coming, I'm scared, you go, I'm not coming, I'm scared, avoid using negative phrases. That is exactly what the kids catch, and then it gets stuck into their head. You will not believe, at the age of 10, he has been seeing me do a lot of things and a series of things, and my husband doesn't really interfere. He tries and does whatever possible that he could do within his, range of phobia that he has. And the last time when we went for a holiday, I was doing paragliding, and he himself made up his mind and told me, Mom, I want to try it. Let's just do it. I'll go with you. And he actually did it. So please have this point very close in your heart. I've given it to you with a practical example that this can actually happen. So make sure you're not discussing your insecurities and your fears in front of your child. Always give them confidence. Even if something is you cannot do, tell them that yes, they can do it. And don't push them or force them for anything. They will eventually learn from you and from your actions. The next point is gossip about others. Please teach them empathy, sympathy, and not judgment. The more you talk gossip about others and judge others in front of them, that's exactly what they're going to do. I see one of my son's friend very often, doing that when I talk to, when he comes home, and then when they are playing. The other day he was just telling my son that, oh, that boy is too bad. He happened to say this, he's just too much of a show off. And they are just 9 and 10, all right. So I asked him, what do you mean by show off? And then he was like thinking 2 minutes, and then he's like, that's what my mom says. So yeah, auntie, he's just a big show off. They catch each and everything that you say. They might understand, they might not understand. It's altogether a different ball game, but that's exactly what they will do. So completely a no-no and avoiding gossip in front of them. Next point is deep-rooted work issues. Your home is a place for calm, peace, and family time, and not to bring back entire stress of your office, the entire download from there to here. I'm not saying, you don't discuss that with your spouse and all that, but when you're at the dinner table, even for you, it'll be nice, right? Having that entire thing, just keep it aside. Talk to your child, how was school, how was that? It'll lighter you as well. Instead of, carrying that negativity from work to your house, and again making that entire environment negative. It is like reversing the whole idea of being positive once you're coming back home, and rather getting a little less burden and happier. You're only making it more stressful even for the other 2-3 people in the family, right? So make sure that you don't carry that kind of the entire deep rooted issues of your office to home, and then make it stressful for everybody else as well. Next point is private medical matters. Guys, when they are young, they truly don't understand. And if there is some serious medical issues happening at your place, I have seen this personally. Again, I have an example where I was having one of my friends, and in her family, her brother-in-law was going through a very bad phase wherein he was having cancer stage 4, and they ended up discussing everything at home. And the child was so bogged down because he didn't understand anything. He always used to come back and ask discuss this in the school. Oh, my uncle has this and he's going to die. See, things like that, I mean, kids don't understand, right? They really don't know what it is. So you can always be really low key and talk about it in codes, or in something, in a language that they don't understand. See, certainly they don't understand. You can avoid using the name of the deceased and just discuss what you're discussing, and maybe in a more politer manner, in a more less dramatic manner, so that things don't go haywire and they don't take it. Because there will be time they will come up to you and they'll ask you, what is this, how is this, why is this? And I'm sure it's going to be a difficult task for you to explain it to them. So be mindful, be cautious, and don't discuss too serious and very sensitive matters of medical issues in your family in front of them. The next point is childhood trauma. Don't pass on a trauma. Please pass on a happy childhood to them. What has been a difficult childhood for you, consciously make an effort that you make your child's childhood the happiest, and don't let your childhood traumas impact your health, impact your way of upbringing, and don't pass on that bitterness, that sour feelings, and all those things that you have onto your child. I'm sure you do not want your child to be in the same mindset and in the same stress as you were. The next point is comparing them with others. That's the most criminal mistake that as parents we do. We should not compare our child with anybody. I always say this to parents who come to me for counseling. You can never compare an apple to an orange. Every child is unique in itself. Everybody has their own abilities. So if your child is weak in something, don't just ping on that one thing. See what is his strength and push him and make him do the best in that. Automatically you will see how confident your child will get, but how when you compare will only keep lowering his confidence, and he will not be able to do anything and move forward confidently in any aspect of his or her life. So please be very, very, very careful. I'm sure our parents had ended up comparing us. They had less exposure. Maybe they weren't aware. Today, as parents, we are way too aware about all this. So please make sure that you're not doing this comparison. And the last point is negative self talk. They will exactly mirror what you say. If you say, you end up saying, oh God, I'm so fat. Oh God, I'm always, oh, this doesn't fit me. This doesn't suit me. They are exactly going to learn that and mirror that from you. Do not do any kind of negative talk, self negativity that, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. It is exactly going to be the same. I had a case where a parent was coming to me for counseling, and she said, because she always kept saying that I can never talk in front of the, in front of people, I cannot do this, I cannot go and talk, on a stage and all that. Her daughter just exactly used to tell her the same words when there used to be competitions in school. And when she told her, please go participate, she said, Mama, you also can't do it, right? You also tell me, right? You cannot go and start. I also cannot go and talk on the stage. This is exactly what will happen. So please be mindful of it. And then next, don't let that happen to your child. I'm sure you want them to participate, and you don't want them to be the same way that you were. You want them to be way more confident than you, right? So please, parents, be mindful of all these points that I told you. Make those, I'm sure overnight the changes cannot happen, but consciously if you work on them and you make sure that anything that you talk, 2 minutes you pause, think if the kids are around, avoid, take a pause, take a break, wait for the right time, and then maybe you can discuss it. Do let me know how this idea clicked with you. Do let me know how are the pointers and anything more that you would want to know on parenting. And do subscribe to my channel for more such interesting parenting and life updates. WhatsApp or call me on the number above to fix an appointment for any kind of parental counseling, personal counseling, or couple counseling. Have a great week ahead. Until then, it's me, Neha, signing off. Bye-bye.